This whole Lindsay Clancy case is very eye-opening. Part of me thinks that this may be a ploy to drive men and women even further apart. But then I also realize that people are stupid, especially these types of women. Now, people say physiognomy has been disproven and that it's pseudoscience, and that you can't judge a book by its cover. But I think any thinking person, somebody who is good at observing patterns, namely autistic dudes, can see that there is a pattern here. Look at the women who are defending her. Now, when you see these women, what type of women do you think these are? Most of them are overweight. Most of them are ugly. Most of them have profile photos with a lot of filters and at a time when they weren't as ugly as they are now. Now, at first glance, this may not seem like anything, but you start to get an idea of the type of woman who would defend this. Now, this is important, in my opinion, to recognize. These aren't young, happy women with good social skills and that are well liked by those around them. These are sad, pathetic women who, if it wasn't obvious by their body fat percentage and appearance, are incapable of taking accountability. The same women who would read dark romance novels, which are basically just smut. And if you tell them this, they will become defensive. No accountability. The type of woman who would post their kids on social media in an effort to seem like better parents than they really are, to seem like they appreciate their children more than they really do. Women who spend their evenings watching videos about gruesome crimes because they're simply interested in it and will never see that maybe that is not good for their mental health. These are unhappy women. Because happy women do not read dark romance. Happy women are not addicted to watching videos about people getting murdered in horrific ways. And this gives the people who think that the 19th Amendment was a mistake credibility. And a lot of people may be offended at this. You see this going around a lot, that if Tiny Mustache Man was a woman, they would be defending him. And this is true, because these people's minds are not fueled by a desire to see the truth. These people's minds are fueled with hatred and anger. These people are fueled by rage, which is why they read the things that they do. An unsatisfied person is vengeful. An unsatisfied person eats too much. An unsatisfied person lives their life vicariously through novels, dark novels. These women do not think that she's innocent because of facts. They don't care if she's innocent. They don't care if she did it. They just hate men. They hate that men don't want them. And they especially hate, more than anything, seeing a young, pretty woman who is desired by a man. And this is the same type of woman that will call you a PDF if you are a grown man who is attracted to women who are younger. Let's say 20, because they know that the older they get, the less valuable they get. And this is not always the case. If a woman is able to retain her feminine essence, she will remain attractive, and oftentimes get even more attractive as time goes on. But that takes work, and doing a lot of work on yourself takes accountability, something these women are allergic to, many people in general. So instead of accepting the fact that they suck, they decide to hate everything that reminds them that they suck. These same women that say that the world would be better if women ran it are the same women that are saying that postpartum depression is an excuse for unaliving children. These are not reasonable people. Hateful people are not reasonable. If they saw the world objectively, they would realize how much they sucked. You know, when I was younger, I was a lot more oblivious to the world. And the older I get, the more I realize how fucked up people are. I would see homeless people and think that they were victims of their circumstance. I would see people in abusive relationships and think that they couldn't help themselves. But the older I get, the more I realize that's not the case. Everybody is exactly where they want to be, with few exceptions. And though I do have empathy, I can also separate my feelings from reality, as a man should. And I see that all of these women are evil and crazy because they want to be. And you will never change somebody who does not want to change. And these people know that they're crazy. These people know that they're insane. They know that they're evil. And do not think otherwise. They know they're evil. They know they're wrong, which makes them even worse people. Solzhenitsyn once famously said, "We know they're lying. They know we know they're lying, but they still lie anyway." And that is these people. And they will do their best to gaslight you, but do not be mistaken. These people know what they're doing, and these are not people who are productive for society. I don't think social media has necessarily made people worse. I think it has just exposed what was already there. What is there is absolutely horrible, not just with this case, but with many other things happening. And the saddest part is that these people have a say in your life. These people can vote. These people, if given the chance, would see you die rather than be held accountable for anything. They would see you and your family die. They would see the world burn before they had to recognize their own inadequacy. These people's entire lives are shaped around fear, and fear breeds anger. They are shaped around the fear that they may be one day held accountable for their actions. This is so many people. The people they vote for, surround themselves with, the places they go, the people they marry, the things they teach their kids. None of it stems from love. None of it stems from the desire to do good. It stems from the desire to keep their false worldview together. And because the worldview that they've constructed is so contrary to reality, their mind is always being attacked. They are not rational by choice. These people act as if they are insane. And often when you talk to these people, it's astounding their ability to not see the truth, almost as if they don't want to. We all know people like this. We've all talked to people like this. And when I was younger, I thought it fitting to argue with people. I thought it was a good use of my time because I was also egotistical. But once again, the older I get, the more I realize arguing is completely fruitless, and instead it is better just to insult their appearance and make them feel horrible. Someone's got to. They sure as hell aren't going to make themselves feel bad, so I might as well. If they want to argue with me, that means they want to humiliate me. That's the end goal of an argument, to humiliate the other person. So I'll just do it faster and better. These women work in HR. They work in the medical field. They're teachers. And oftentimes the reason why these women pick these roles is not out of a desire to help people. It's because they want to feel superior. They want to validate their own existence. They want to feel in control. They want to feel in power. A woman in a preschool class feels like God. She thinks she's smarter than everybody. And none of these kids are quite smart enough to effectively talk back. You can't talk back to HR. Same thing in the medical profession. Now that doesn't mean that they don't have good people in these professions. It just means that, and just as a lot of PDFs seek positions close to kids, women who want to feel in control seek positions that validate that feeling. Do not be mistaken about this. No matter what anyone tells you, I am right. See, you cannot trust people to be honest about themselves. You have to be very observant and you have to learn. You have to see the way they speak, the way they act. People can say one thing, but do another. And oftentimes people are very good at hiding. They're very good at manipulating. Women especially. That's why sometimes it can be hard to read them. Not feminine women, not good feminine women, but these succubi. This is why I say look at these women. Look at the women who are saying these things and defending Lindsay Clancy. A snake is not going to tell you that it's poisonous. Hopefully you know it's poisonous by the way it looks, and maybe even by the way that it acts. As men, it is important to stay centered and to not always complain about women. Women are the problem, women are blah, blah, blah. Because that's not helpful. But I will say that women right now are absolutely an issue. And yes, men are an issue, but that's not what I'm talking about. Everybody knows somebody who's been falsely accused of SA. Everybody knows a girl who has falsely accused somebody of SA, or who talks about a story that happened that you know is a lie. And why do they do this? Comment why you think they do this. I have my own ideas. But why are all of these women constantly lying about these things that happened to them? Why are we validating it? What's going on? You know, Satan was able to reach Adam, not directly, but through Eve. Just an interesting thought. It's like there's something in the water that women are drinking. I mean, birth control, validation, education. It's almost like these women couldn't be worse if they tried. Like they're doing just enough to live somewhat normal lives. I mean, we have to have some way to separate these people from society. We have to have some way to collectively shun these people. Because it's not all women. And I think more and more men and women are growing aware of this issue. But what is going to be done about it? I mean, something's happening, man. I mean, I don't spend that much time on social media. I used to. But this isn't just something I'm seeing on social media. This is something I'm seeing in person. I'm seeing in public. I'm hearing conversations about. And I live in a pretty remote area. This isn't just a problem like other ones that people can say, just get offline, and the problem disappears. No, this is a real, persistent issue. Even more than you think. Because these people feel safe online, and they voice their opinions. Now imagine how many are like this that don't go online and comment. And now imagine how many people are like this around you. Way more than online. Unfortunately, men, one of the reasons why they're like this is because we're pussies. And when we hear a woman talking about a fake SA, we don't call her out on it because we want pussy. As men, we feel like we're not going to get pussy if we irritate a girl, if we call her out on her bullshit. And most of these women, most women in general, gauge their self-worth on who wants to fuck them. Now, if every guy around them wants to fuck them, even though they fucking suck, it validates their behavior. This doesn't take away their responsibility, but just a thought.